Hi, and welcome back to my channel, to the space that we all co-create every day. We are on day 16 already of this 21-day challenge, and before we know, this challenge will actually be coming to an end. How amazing is that? Each day we step into a new zone. So if you haven't checked out the previous one, which is day 15, it is absolutely amazing. Just go back to it. You'll find the link up there. So welcome to this wonderful journey once again. I am your coach and catalyst. My name is Vidisha Kaushal, and I help you to create a conscious life. Through this challenge, we are working at our lives in detail so that we can actually thrive during this time and not just survive. So what are we going to talk about today? Today, we're speaking about something that has been coming up in conversations with my clients, with friends so often, and a request from so many of you that I thought, let me address this. This is not a topic that anybody, per se thinks of, but this is a topic that has emerged by itself. And that is the whole concept of inspiration versus habits. The whole world is talking about habits a lot today, and yet an equal amount of the world talks about inspiration. Many of you reach out to me saying, Vidisha, I want to do this, but I don't feel inspired. Inspiration is when I want to take action. I am a spiritual seeker, and I'm somebody who works on herself or himself. And I don't feel like forcing things on myself. I feel like going with the flow. So what really is the whole thing about? Like, do I just go ahead and do things when I'm inspired? And if I make a habit out of things, isn't it forced? Isn't it unconscious? On the other hand, you have people who talk about habits, 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 being productive, being effective, blah, blah, blah. And then there's an emptiness within them sometimes because there is nothing, no connection with the heart sometimes. Sometimes these are habits that are created with the definition of some kind of success which the world has laid out for them. So again, in that case, there is a yearning for something which is heartfelt, for something which comes from within. So what really is the way out? This is what we are here to discover today. And trust me, this particular session can bring so much clarity to you, because this was a question that I also had for the longest time. And my answers came from experimentation. My answers came from a lot of learning. And I thought, why not pick all that up and offer it to you? Because while we are living these 21 days and more, we want to be able to solve these nuances of our life, so to say. So let's talk about what inspiration means to you. It can mean so many different things to different people. If I pick up the dictionary, there'll be n number of meanings that people have given to it. One of my favorite definitions comes from Wayne Dyer, somebody I really look up to in terms of spiritual learning and personal development. And Wayne Dyer has in fact written a book about inspiration. So he would define inspiration very simply and very beautifully. He would say it is all about being in spirit. So when you're in spirit, then everything flows, right? Then the right actions flow, then the ideas flow, then the goals make sense to you. They're not just empty goals. And so inspiration is very, very important. Do you think inspiration is important for you? If you think it is, then write that down in the comments saying, I love inspiration. Because who doesn't want to be inspired? Most of the work which is called genius work comes from a zone of inspiration. It comes from a zone of tapping into the spirit of creation, literally. And from there, everything flows. The best artwork flows, the best projects flow. Everything is in a sense of flow from there onwards. And so inspiration, without inspiration, is literally like nothing would have the juices of life. Nothing would have the deliciousness that only life brings to you. The whole zest of life lies in the zone of inspiration. And so I cannot even dream of a life without inspiration. And how can we tap into inspiration? Basically, anything that connects you to spirit, will lead you to a zone of inspiration. So, for example, it could be something as simple as you're running or you're exercising and you feel the energy in your body, you feel it flowing. Now, that's a zone of inspiration sometimes, and the best ideas come there. The best ideas come when you're taking a walk or you're running or when you're in the shower. Have you noticed how some of the most amazing epiphanies literally come to you in that moment? Because what's happening is you're connected to your body. You've left everybody outside. You've left the drama outside of human existence, and you're just one with yourself in those moments. So, whenever you are connected to your own source energy, which we call spirit, you will find yourself dipping into an infinite ocean of consciousness. And from there, everything is possible. You can pick up any book written by any of the realized masters or teachers or mentors, and they will talk about the zone of inspiration. And oftentimes they'll say, I didn't really come up with this. This just was flowing through me. And this is the space I love to be in, where I constantly emphasize that I am an instrument through which the divine plays. So that's what the zone of inspiration is about. And the simple technique is that find out how you can connect within. So you can pause this video at this moment and sit with a paper and pen and write down what are the things that connect you to the zone of inspiration. Is it being in the shower? Is it singing, humming a tune in the shower? Is it running? Is it some 10, 20 different things? Is it 3 things? Whatever it is for you, dip into it. Is it just being with plants? Sometimes some of my greatest ideas have come while I've been tending to my plants, or when I'm sitting just having a cup of tea, staring into nothing. That's when inspiration comes to me. At times it comes to me in my sleep also. I'm sure it has happened to you. So while you're sleeping, your conscious mind takes a break and the subconscious and the superconscious takes over. And that's where ideas will flow, creativity will flow, inspiration will flow. So clearly then inspiration is a beautiful zone to be in. So where does that leave habits, right? Mundane little habits. What do we have to say about that? What is really a habit? And one of the best resources I can recommend on habits is a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a life-changing book if you pick it up. So habits are what? Habits are things which are done repeatedly in a certain way that the response becomes almost automatic. And the impact of habits can be atomic. It can be so powerful. It can be like almost as if an atom bomb, which is really small but can explode and have a massive impact. So that's what habits essentially are. So what is the importance of habits then? And where does that leave habits? Because everything is in the zone of inspiration. Now, here's a personal sharing. I look at it this way, that inspiration is what puts me in the zone of the big questions of life. What am I being guided to do? What is my spirit here to do in this human form? What is the purpose of my life? What is my purpose right now? As the whole world goes through quarantine, I asked, and this is the story I want to share with you. I had a calendar that was planned out. I had appointments that were fixed. I had various courses that I wanted to roll out. And then this is April, we were in March or probably February, and it's a time of quarantine. In India, there was a lockdown. And the moment we had the lockdown, I asked myself the question. I was sitting with a cup of tea and I said, I know there are so many things planned, but can I just pause for a moment and check with spirit what I am supposed to do at this time? What am I meant to do at this moment? Because I had a growing need within me saying, this is not what you're meant to be doing. You're not just meant to be sitting here and worrying about how money will come in and worrying about how the programs will roll out. This is not the zone you're supposed to be in. There's something more. There's something more. So I'm sitting there watching the sparrows eat like they do every day in my balcony. And suddenly this comes in my mind. It's like a message flashes in my mind saying, you've got to serve. You've got to serve. And the moment this message came, it came with so much clarity. I didn't have to check with anybody else. I didn't need validation, confirmation, nothing. I decided that day that I'm going to launch my YouTube channel. I'm going to launch this 21-day challenge, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help people. And then when I do this, Spirit will take care of me also. I knew it. So I launched the 21-day challenge. I led a session called Thrive on a Sunday with a huge, spirit literally playing through different kinds of people, and we had a beautiful session which I'm going to be posting very, very soon now. So we had a beautiful session, and people started sharing how relieved they feel, how they were so anxious and panicking, and how they just calmed down. And I knew in that moment that I'm on the right track. So this is the zone of inspiration, and that is personally how I consider it. It gives me the larger picture. It tells me what I am meant to do at this moment in time, what the spirit flowing through me wants me to do, and then all the helpful resources are sent my way. Habits, on the other hand, are all about implementing what spirit is telling me. Now, how do I focus on what spirit is telling me? For example, each one of you who's in a similar time frame as me when this video was created, and if you've been quarantined and if you're at home, then you would realize that you're doing all the work from home, you're doing all the household chores, you're doing everything that perhaps you had outsourced earlier, and you have children and you have everything else. Remember, I had that too. So this is where habits helped me to take care of all of that. Habits helped me stay on top of keeping my home well fed, nourished, loved while I took on this mission. So I didn't take on this mission at the cost of ignoring my own home, my family. I took on this mission with them, and they've been equally a part of everything I've done. So this came out of habits which were very, very strongly rooted. So that's the role that habits play in your life. They are the ones that help make everything happen. If we don't have habits, we don't actually get to where inspiration wants us to get. For example, habit is brushing my teeth. So I don't even have to be in the zone of inspiration for my everyday actions. I can actually be fully present, no decision making, completely enjoy that moment because I've got a healthy habit in place. Having a healthy habit does not mean that we are unconscious. It does not mean that we are not enjoying the task. It just means there's no active decision making involved. It has become automatic for me. And most things which are nourishing for us, which are lovely, healthy for us, need to be on this mode, so that even when things are not going the way I want them to go, these healthy habits make sure I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm happy, my family is taken care of. For example, if you have good financial habits, you're going to make sure your wealth is all right. If you have good eating habits, lockdown or no lockdown, you're going to make sure that your body is well fed. If you have habits which are all about self love, you're going to make sure your mind is at rest, it is peaceful. This is what habits can do. So it's always habits plus inspiration. It is never habits versus inspiration. Let's get this right. Habits are so essential, and they are literally the motor which makes everything else run. So without these, and notice the lives of some of the greatest masters on earth, they had such beautiful habits. They had such nourishing habits which not only helped them, but helped millions and millions of people. So I hope this has been useful in telling you what the role of each one of these is. And I hope you get inspired and don't just wait for inspiration to strike you for doing everything that is an action in your life. Actions need to come from a space of healthy habits, but which direction you want to take an action in, what decision you want to make, that can come from a zone of inspiration. It's as simple as that, right? So with that, I want you to share what your 3 learnings today have been. This is the most important part of this session. Otherwise, you can walk out saying, lovely session, and not really internalize anything. So pause and write down what your 3 key takeaways have been. And perhaps you can also share what are the habits you would want to focus on. My suggestion is pick one at a time. Don't pick too many, and try and make it a tiny habit so that you don't have to work too hard to create it. So yes, if you've done that, let's close with a beautiful small little meditation that I'm going to lead right now for you. So sit comfortably, Let your body relax completely and allow yourself to be in a space where you let your body just hang like a piece of cloth with no tension in any part of the body. If there are any sounds that you can hear, just consider them a part of life, a part of your experience. Relax your body and let any thoughts which are traveling through your mind just travel by. Acknowledge them and let them travel. Take a few deep breaths. With each breath, you go into a deeper, calmer state. With each breath, you're connecting more and more to the spirit within. And in this zone, we find the perfect balance. Relax and receive. I am a spark of the divine. I create my life consciously, picking all that is life nurturing, all that is caring towards myself and my world. As I repeatedly do this, I create a wonderful system of healthy habits, a stable canvas on which I can paint the beautiful painting of life. I am a spark of the divine. Everything around me resonates within me. I let myself be on an infinite adventure, an adventure of the spirit. Spirit guides me, fills me up, protects me, because after all, spirit is me. Feel the waves of spirit connecting to you in this moment. Allow yourself to receive the perfect balance between allowing and doing. Slowly, you can bring yourself back to your body. Rub your palms together and place them on your eyes. Let your body get a good stretch and gradually open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been beautiful leading you through this, navigating this with you. And I pray that you always find the balance between taking action and allowing. Always find the zone of inspiration and beautiful habits. Stay blessed. And remember, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that so that you're always in touch with this high vibrational zone. Share this message with as many people as you can. Do your bit and keep spreading love. Start with yourself and spread it all around you. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you are the abundance that you always seek. Have a beautiful time. Bye.